things first, Nicole, you need to come bring me your necklace. Thank you. Alright. Tonight, immunity is back up for grabs. For tonight's challenge, although it looks like a puzzle, you are not solving a puzzle. On the one side of the board, you will see that there is a little notch. You're going to put your fingers, whichever fingers you want, inside of those notches. They cannot be outside of the notch. They should be inside the caved-in area. And you will hold the flat side upright. You will then, whenever I say to add a block, you will put one block on top of the platform. I will tell you to then put another block on top of the platform. And so on. If your hand touches the board at all, or the board touches anything within your fingertips, that also counts as being out. If any of the blocks fall off your board or touch the board other than the one at the bottom, you are out of the challenge. The last person whose stack does not fall wins immunity. Alright, go ahead and place your first block. I'll only count down if necessary. Okay. So once I give you the command to place your next block, that is the point where you can no longer touch that block. You may now place your second block. Hands off in 3, 2, 1. You may now place your third block. Challenge starts out easy, gets tricky very quickly.
This is like a week of this shit, right?
I do it. No.
One of us has gloves.
Alright. You can now pick up your next block. Add it to the stack. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Jonathan, you must remember standing. Absolutely.
Of course.
Alright, Jonathan, out of the challenge. Jonathan, you can go ahead and have a seat. 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, go ahead and grab your next block. Place it. 10, 9, 8, 7. And you're up. Go ahead and place your next block. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Alright, everyone's hands are off. Go ahead and place your next block. 10. Nicole, out of the challenge. Nicole, you can go ahead and have a seat. Alright, Pascal, please place the challenge. Pascal, out of the challenge. Sarah, wins immunity. Pascal. Alright, Sarah, come get your necklace.
That's ridiculous how much we're shooting.
Sarah, say for the next tribal council. On the other 3 of you, someone will become the 13th person that voted out, the 6th member of our jury. And next week is the end of Survivor. We will be voting someone out, having a challenge, voting someone else out, and then we will have our final tribal council where the jury will then question the final 2 and vote for a winner. We will be meeting from 8 to 10 next Sunday. See you then. Bye.
This has been a very interesting tribal council. I've been lied to, which I sort of knew was happening. I thought it wouldn't be logical for people to vote me out because I'm not as much of a threat as Jonathan or Garrett. So the logical thing to do is still to vote Jonathan out. And that still has not happened. And so now I don't know whether I wasn't told because they were scared that I was tight with Garrett, or what I was told was that it was because they were scared I would flip-flop. And of course, from my perspective, that's never really happened. So it's interesting to be told, oh, you're untrustworthy, when to me, I was the one person in the game who was willing to lose the game to remain trustworthy. Deception is how you're supposed to play Survivor. You need to convince people you're on their side even when you're not. And it's strange when, to the remaining players, instead of looking like a backstabber, which is how Garrett looks, I look like a flip-flopper, which is a weak look, and not one you would want coming into the final week. So in conclusion, everybody's lied to me. Jonathan, I guess Jonathan probably did know that I was lying to him, but it probably didn't matter since he wasn't telling me the truth either. Right now, I think the stress of knowing that I'm sort of the odd one out hasn't yet overtaken the feeling of relief on still being in the game, because I went in thinking that my name would be the other name coming out of the tribal council. Garrett also really did kind of deserve what he got.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. So, I think Jonathan can win it, but also, I would much rather see you in than Nicole, to be completely honest. Which I know is gonna sound crazy.
That surprises me, yes.
And you're probably not going to believe me, but here's the thing. Nicole and I have played a very similar game. I would rather go up against someone with a different gameplay style than someone who played almost exactly the same as me. You were the one who started the Jenna thing. You have blindsided people. So you've been more active than Nicole, to my eyes. So I'm kind of in the spot where, like, you and Jonathan are both probably gonna think that I'm gonna team up with Nicole and try to, like, vote you guys off. But at this point, I don't have a hope of a chance if I don't try to get her off this week, because our gameplays are too similar and she has the edge.
This week, though, I feel like letting Jonathan make it to Final 3 is even worse.
Yes, but the chances of him winning immunity, I mean, it's there,
Really?
but...
Because I feel like he's...
Like, I'm also trying to make a move here.
Right. I
And
getcha.
Jonathan is the really obvious person, but...
I have a question for you. Why is it that you want Jonathan in the game? Like last week, to keep him in, you got Garrett out instead.
Mm-hmm.
The week before that, he had immunity, but the week before that, at the last minute, you saved his life by getting Nathan King out. Right? So, like, that's 4 weeks that you've managed to keep him in the game. And why is it that you're trying to do it? Like, why are you guys working together?
He's dangerous. He's made it this far. I don't think he can make it to the final 2.
Bar you keeping him in this round again. Like, I'm not saying this is what I want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying this is what I think is good for you. Like, honestly, when you tell me that you want Nicole more than Jonathan, at first I was like, oh, okay, is this true? And I'm not sure how much I believe that, and I'm really just getting the feeling that you're trying to blindside me, is what is coming across. And so...
How do I persuade you that I'm not trying to blindside?
And so, well, here's the thing, like it would make perfect sense, because you voted for me, the week Jonathan had immunity.
Mm-hmm.
Last week you lied to me. We've been saying, like, hey, look, Nicole, Jenna, these are the people at the tops of these alliances, we should work together. And it hasn't been because we've, like, talked together a lot. Like, we haven't been that close throughout this game. It's just been because, logically, I think we work together well. Like, it's not that I particularly want to work with you. It's just that you and I are kind of, like, the bottom. So, like, we need to work together to get, especially Jonathan out. Like, if you want me out, like, that's fine. And there's really not anything I can do to stop you. I'm just saying that I think the smart thing for you to do if you want to, like, actually win would be to get Jonathan out. Unless there's, like, anything else you want to say to try and win. Like, you...
I'm looking ahead and just trying. Like, I know I can't beat Jonathan, but I don't want it to be me and Nicole. I can't beat her either.
I mean, we've got a week to think about it.
That's true. I don't know. I guess I'll just talk to you again.
Alright.
Because I'm not trying to blindside you. Okay. Cool. Thanks for coming over. So the good news, it sounds like he does think Jonathan is the biggest problem. Which is good. It doesn't matter what he does. Hopefully he thinks I'm pretty stupid after that. Because that's what I'm trying to play. Maybe I overdid it, but we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, this being Pascal, we really don't know if that'll make him hate us more.
Honestly, he did. Okay, interestingly enough, he's the first one I've heard bring up the idea of a Yumi alliance. He's pieced that together. He was sitting here talking. He was like, "Hey."
He's a smart cookie.
Oh yeah. Yes.
He just doesn't talk to people.
Right.
If he talked to people, he might actually win this, but he's not going to talk to people, so he's not going to win this.
But yeah, he was like, "Wait, but you haven't voted for him any of the 4 weeks," and I was like,
Wow.
You figured some stuff
Wow.
out."
Okay.
Like, I was literally impressed because he's the first. I'm so happy that didn't happen with Nicole last.
Yeah.
Like,
Because now we don't care.
Pascal, good job. I'm impressed.
I doff my non-existent hat to you.
Yeah.
Nobody else is doing that, I think. They're probably all trying.
Anyway, yeah. So I'm good to vote Nicole. Yep.
Okay, cool. Nicole it is.
Nicole it is.
It was almost too easy.
See, the final two isn't gonna be
No.
final two. Provided
be
it's
fun.
you versus me, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good time.
As things currently stand, me and Sarah still don't know who to vote for. I want to vote off Nicole. Sarah wants to vote off Pascal. I'm the one with 2 votes, but if we don't work together, then I go home. So ultimately, if she stands her ground, I am going
Sarah said she's still good for Nicole. I gotta go eat dinner. I'll see you later.
Pascal's lying. He is trying to vote me off, and he thinks Nicole and Sarah are going to do the same thing. Sarah has utterly convinced them that they're voting me out, and that none of them know that I have an extra vote. So that's really neat and works out in my favor. But it does mean that she is the swing vote now, because I'm putting 2 votes on somebody, and they're putting 2 votes on me. So if she wants me to go home, she can do that. Pascal would be an easy win. I'm also pretty confident that I can win over Sarah, but I've made a lot of enemies in the game, and that could come back to bite me. And ultimately I am planning on winning, if at all possible. So here's to a good night.
So, this week, I'm voting off Jonathan. Whether or not he actually is voted off remains to be determined. So, basically, I tried to convince Pascal that it's in his best interest to vote Jonathan off. Sorry, Pascal, but basically everyone could beat at this point. So, it's definitely in his best interest to vote off Jonathan, so I was trying to get him, and then, yeah, for a lot of reasons. I'm also trying to convince Sarah to vote off Jonathan, but at this point I'm pretty convinced that the 2 of them are in it together. But despite possible alliances, it'd still be in Sarah's best interest because there's no way that she's going to beat Jonathan. So if she's smart, she'll vote him off. My plan after Jonathan is to vote off Pascal. Just in the interest of having a good final 2 where the jury actually has to like really debate about who wins. I think it would be best for me and Sarah to be the final 2 because I think that the games that we've been playing are pretty similar. And even if they aren't the same, they're similar levels of skill and intelligence. First, I plan on voting off Jonathan, and then Pascal, and hopefully that works. But we shall see.
I finally got information from him that I think is valid, and I don't think that he will take me to the final 2. So he needs to go. If he watches this later, he's probably gonna laugh at me and be like, "Yo, you're so wrong. I was actually gonna take you, haha." But I do the best I can with the information I have. Yeah.
All right, we will now bring in the members of our jury. Helen, Jenna, Nathan, Paul, and Garrett voted out at the last tribal council. Nice short. I like the short JJ. So Pascal, how does it feel knowing that after tonight you'll have either won the game or lost the game?
I guess it's nice to know that like there won't be any more stress after this. But I feel like I've also been saying that to myself every week. Where it's like, oh, if I get voted out, at least I won't stress. It's kind of like a compensation, right? You know what I mean? It's like I'd still rather win.
To get voted out?
I mean, yeah.
That makes sense.
Participation trophy.
Nicole, does it get easier or harder when you get down to a few numbers?
I feel like it probably gets it's for different reasons both. But I'd say probably easier because it's less people to talk to and it's less factors to try to like put together in your mind. It's like, okay, there's only 4 people and it's a lot easier to come up with the different scenarios and really know each team as well.
Sarah, being this close to the end, did you find that by having immunity this week it gave you more power over the other players?
However, it was also really, really stressful because I was the one
Pascal, how would it feel to get this far into the game and go home right before the end?
Disappointing, obviously. I think actually, strangely enough, it feels backwards, but I think at this point I'm kind of happy to have made it this far. So if I think I'd be more disappointed to lose in the final 2 or 3 than I would be to be voted out right now.
So the closer you get, the more it would be hard to...
Not exactly, because I also cared more a couple weeks ago.
Okay. So it fluctuates for you?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't explain my emotions.
Jonathan, does it ever talk about what the jurors are thinking or how the jurors are going to vote at the end of this game?
There have been a few hesitant discussions, but nobody's really sure. So those haven't gone anywhere.
Does anyone feel like there's any jury votes that they think they know who they're going to vote for at this point? You. So as far as you guys know, the jury's totally up in the air. So Nicole, how do you go about determining who you think the jury's going to vote for?
Honestly, I'm not as much worried about, like, okay, who's each person going to vote for as much as I am worried about my own game because I know that they're going to base who they vote for on how we play. So I'm more concerned about the way that I'm playing and less on, like, trying to speculate who's voting for who.
Sarah, you're immune for this week. Well,
Yep.
for this vote.
Yep.
But in a couple minutes, someone's going to win and the final 3 can vote. So are you focused on bringing who you think you can beat in the last challenge?
There's been so much consideration about what the different strategies that are going for this. Who I can beat in the challenge is honestly been very everyone, all 3 of the people who are left are strong in various things, and many of them can be.
So why are you voting the way that you're voting tonight?
What do you like to know?
Jonathan, why are you voting the way that you're voting tonight?
Like I said before, there were many hours of talk, and to tons of different considerations involved. There is no one answer to give you.
Okay. Pascal, why are you voting the way you're voting?
I think it has to do with pretty much everything. With who the jury likes, with how well other people have performed, with how they might do with the challenge, with who's likely to rank me to the top two, who's likely to who's worked with me in the past. And also I think largely just how I want to play the final game.
Nicole, are you going to give me the same answer as all that by not giving an answer?
I mean, I'll give you a little more.
Alright.
To me, like all the things that I was mentioned are definitely considerations, but the main thing that I'm thinking about is I want the final two to be a good competition. So I basically worked on that. I wanted to.
Alright. Well, one of you, both getting to the final three, is about to end. Your game is about to end. 6 members of the jury. It's time to vote. Pascal, you're up first.
I really, really hope Sarah doesn't vote for the wrong person. Because that could happen.
It's freaking cold.
Alright. I'll go tally the votes.
Hey JJ, I'd like to play an advantage.
Alright. Would you like to tell everyone what your advantage is?
This advantage gives me an extra vote. I have to announce it now, as JJ is going to go tally the votes. Here you are.
Thank you. I'll go cast your extra vote.
You made us wait longer.
Yeah, Jonathan!
We'll see what happens.
Alright. Now, I will go tally the votes.
I will take that.
Alright. Once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted out, you have to leave the tribal council area immediately. I will now read the votes. First vote, Jonathan. 1 vote, Jonathan. Nicole. 1 vote, Nicole. 1 vote, Jonathan. Jonathan. 2 votes, Jonathan. 1 vote, Nicole. Nicole. 2 votes, Nicole. 2 votes, Jonathan. 1 vote left. The 13th person voted out Survivor Messiah and the 6th member of our jury. Jonathan. Jonathan, you need to bring me your torch. Jonathan, try this token. Well, even with 2 votes, Jonathan was not able to secure his spot in the game. We'll now head to our last immunity challenge, where one of you will earn the right to pick who will go with you to the final tribal council, and 2 of you will get the chance to plead your case to the jury. Grab your stuff, we're heading inside the ice room. All right. Well, first things first, Sarah, I will take back your necklace. Thank you. last time this season, individual immunity is back up for grabs. Whoever wins tonight's challenge will guarantee themselves a spot in the final two. We'll decide which of the other two players will sit next to them in the final two. For today's challenge, there are 6 different locations throughout all of Eisenhower where colored tiles are hidden. Your goal is to find them all and bring them back here. The first person to get all 6, bring them back here. How this will work? I will be putting a piece of paper on this table that has clues to each of the locations. Each of the clues is a single word clue that will give you a hint as to where each of them is. So when you get each one, you need to come bring it back, put it in your column before you can go get it. In addition, if the single word clues are not helpful enough, you are allowed to ask for a much easier clue. You can come up to me, I will be here. You can ask for an easier clue, and then you can point during the challenge. This comes with a 4-minute time limit if you ask for an easier clue. How that will work is if you take, let's say you take one easy clue, once you have finished, if you're the first person back, you will wait 4 minutes before you actually win the challenge. If no one's back in 4 minutes, then you win. If someone comes back before your time limit is up, you will not win. All of the tiles are on the ground. None of them are in the basement. They're all equally accessible to everyone, so there's none in the youth workout center, and there's none in the new bathrooms. Faculty offices and classrooms are also on campus. Drivers ready? Go.
Can we go inside of Lottie?
There's none in line. Accessible.
trying to think what climb is. Oh, yeah.
I wonder where Sarah went.
In the Falcon, under the counter where the soft drinks are.
Or drink. Drink. That was probably drink. So eat. What do you think dump is?
I was looking at the trash cans and recycling bins, but I haven't found anything.
Actually, I guess it's not. Colored tiles on them. Yeah. They already went earlier. Okay, yeah, thanks.
Wait, someone upstairs. I already, I just feel just go
Have you guys asked for any clues yet?
No, not yet. Do you know if we're allowed to go inside body?
No.
No?
I don't know.
Okay, because I asked, but I didn't really get a concrete answer.
Can I get a clue for the last one?
Yep.
There one. The Eisenhower staircase. I need to win because I'm pretty sure at this point that the girls are going to be taking each other to the final two if they win. Oh, there's that weird staircase somewhere. Alright, going again.
Alright. Pascal, you need to wait out your 4-minute penalty.
Other than that, he's 4 minutes early.
He's on the athletic stairwell. At the very top. There's that. Wait. Anybody there?
Pascal still has a time penalty.
Run, Forrest, run!
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Happy New Year! We're not into the Christmas season yet. You're already skipping to New Year? The Chinese. Pascal, if you want immunity, I'll give you the necklace once we get everyone back.
I honestly don't know.
I didn't understand.
All right. Pascal, you can stand up. Turn around. You want to kneel? Okay. Pascal wins final individual immunity. Very soon, you will be deciding who will go with you and be able to plead their case to the jury alongside you in the final two. Before then, we're going to have each of the final three do a confessional, and while that person's doing confessional, the other two can strategize.
What vending machine?
That one right there.
One you checked twice.
Like underneath?
Yes. I'm just glad I've made it this far. I think being in the final two is like as good as you can hope for. I hope I don't mess up in picking my competitor. But the good news is I think they are fairly equal. The bad news is I have no idea whether the jury members think I deserve to beat them, and I'm not sure I do at this point. I think we've all three played rather similar games. And convincing the jury that I was better than Garrett or Helen or Jenna or anybody who made very clear moves as opposed to hanging back might be difficult. During travel, Garrett said something like, "Oh, all the jury members want to win more than the people left in the game." And Helen said, "Well, that's why we're not in the game anymore." And I think I'll have to convince the jury members that have wanted to win the whole time and that I've intentionally been hiding that. I think at this point, I have a decent shot.
I murdered Pascal.
You murdered him?
Yep.
All right, we got our final two.
Alright!
This just saying, Sarah has murdered the winner of the immunity challenge, so we're now down to two.
It was like
What
murder in
happens
the
if
dark.
you murder?
Let's just say, as supreme immunization leader.
Yeah.
Anyway, vaccinated leader.
Okay.
What do you think?
I feel like if either of you had one, you would have definitely chosen the other one. Is that?
Oh yeah.
That's what I figured.
Well, the thing is, when I said the whole, I'm gonna vote based on having a
I
close.
instantly knew you were.
The thing is, I said that. The thing is, I said that for both you and for Jonathan. I said it for both you and Jonathan.
Yeah.
Why you should choose me?
Yes.
I've heard several people say that they think that. Well, first of all, back up. When I was thinking about voting off Jonathan this week, I thought that he was the best player in the game. But I had several people come up to me and tell me, no, you need to get Sarah because she's better than Jonathan.
I mean, who told you that she had immunity?
Not people in the game, like people on the outside. So, and she has been playing a really smart game. She's basically tried to win everybody's trust, meanwhile basically paying everybody. And I'm pretty sure she and Jonathan have had in lines this whole time, which she's been phenomenal at hiding, at least towards the end. Earlier on, like you said, she's been subtly saving him, but towards the end, like, she's done a really great job. She voted him off, which is super smart at the very end. So, and like when it comes down to two of us, I definitely think that she could win. Again, it's up to you, and it's all your opinion on that. But honestly, I think that she could beat me. So.
All right. Great.
She can beat me.
I'm not sure what I should.
I'm pretty sure she can beat you.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's where that train of
Right,
thought
I mean,
goes.
like,
Yeah. Okay, so,
Well,
yeah.
I don't know what to say to you. Like, I mean.
High five, handshake,
Oh, wow.
fist bump.
Okay.
Okay, upgrade.
All right. See you in travel. We'll just wait for Sarah.
When I'm pretty much assuming that you're gonna take Nicole.
Why would I take the clock? Like, you've played the same game.
That's true. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Well, the one question I had for Nicole, I was gonna ask you guys together, but it doesn't really matter. Is that like if you guys had if one of you had one, you would have both definitely chosen the other one. Am I right?
I, of course, told Nicole that I would take her. The thing is, she's a lot. I probably would have taken her, yeah. There's the off chance that I wouldn't have just because we played such a similar game that like it would be hard to communicate that to the jury and for them to draw a distinction between us. But
I'm sorry. So you said you would have taken Nicole.
yeah.
So basically everything you said last week about wanting to go her, I was not true.
No, that was true. I literally flipped so many times this week, and I considered it from so many different angles. It was either going to be her or Jonathan.
Yeah.
And at the last minute, it was based off of something that Jonathan said.
I mean, I know you wanted to vote me out after I said I wouldn't vote for Nicole, but I mean, then she wouldn't vote for me either. So
I don't know. I'm not sure what I can. If there's obviously, I want you to take me to the final two because like I've played hard for this, and I'm gonna be so sad if I don't make it. Like I've actually managed to get here because I've played.
did you have anything else to say? I'm not sure I have anything else.
I'm good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck.
I'll see you in trouble. Sarah was actually not great at saying that she thought I would beat her, which is kind of what you want to hear, right? And of course you know they're going to say that because that's the point. You have to convince them, oh, bring me, I won't beat you. But Sarah actually sounded relatively confident that she would beat me, which seemed a little bit more honest, but also kind of off-putting because obviously I don't want to take somebody who's that confident. It's a hard choice.
All right. We will now bring in the members of our jury. Helen. You guys can serve. Jenna. Nathan. Paul. Garrett. And Jonathan. Voted out at the last tribal council. So Pascal, how does it feel to win the final immunity challenge?
It's kind of an adrenaline rush. Well, I got an adrenaline rush before I started, and now it's just kind of nervousness of responsibility, almost more than the relief, because now, like, if it comes down to, like, one person would beat me and one person would lose against me, I don't want to make the wrong choice.
Right. Yeah, if this was Real Survivor, this could be $1 million decision.
So I'm
But
thinking
even
about
more importantly, this is a decision that determines if you win the first ever season of Survivor Messiah. Possibly.
Maybe they're both better than I am actually. So.
Maybe. Nicole,
Hi.
why should Pascal choose to take you to the end?
I think Sarah's bigger threat than I am, to be honest. She's playing a very, very intelligent game. Try to take a compliment. Of course, you did not. As like you're, yes, like wrecking me. Yeah, seriously. Thanks. So yeah, like I think she's a very threat. That's basically like what else I do.
Alright. Sarah, why should Pascal take you to the final two?
I think that Nicole has the potential to sway more votes, to be honest, because she's roommate with Jenna, she's good friends with Jonathan.
Yeah. Okay, you had an alliance with Jonathan. I didn't have an alliance with Jonathan. I just freaking voted him out. I think she has the potential. It was worse with me. The betrayal was not interested. Okay. I think she has the potential to scrape together more votes than do I.
Pascal, is there any other information you need, or are you ready to cast your vote? Alright, it is time to vote. Pascal, you can go ahead and vote.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna go tally the vote.
How many votes could there be? Oh gosh!
What did you want to ask? Yeah, like
Questioning!
Alright. Once the vote is read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I will read the vote. 14th person voted out of Survivor Messiah, and the 7th and final member of our jury. Sarah.
I knew it.
Sarah, you need to bring me your torch.
Bye, Sarah.
Sarah, you tried to spoken.
Actually,
I am.
It's time for you to go.
Now.
yes, Sarah.
On the triangle.
Alright, the two of you have gone as far as you can go in this game. At this point, the power shifts from you guys over to the jury. In a few moments, and then one by one, they will come up and they will ask you questions to determine who they want to vote for to win this game. We're going to head downstairs into the Eisenhower lobby, where Final Tribal Council will take place. See you there.
I hope this is the right choice. I hope she spells her name with an H. And I hope that this means I'm voting her out and not voting for her to come to the final two.
Alright, we'll now bring in the members of our jury. Helen, Jenna, Nathan, Paul, Garrett, Jonathan, and Sarah voted out at the last Tribal Council. Alright, welcome to the Final Tribal Council. We're going to give the jurors the opportunity now to question the final two before they vote for a winner. You'll get an opening speech, and then each juror will come up and say whatever they'd like to say. You'll get a closing speech, then the jury will vote, and we will determine the winner. So, to start off, we'll start with opening speeches. Pascal, you're up first.
First, I'd like to say congratulations to Nicole for making it to the final two.
That was all you, but thanks.
The final three. And I think I'd like to say that obviously I believe you should vote for me as the winner. I think I'm not going to say I played the hardest, but I think I played the best. There's a balance between caring and not caring, and between making too many moves and between not making enough. And I think I struck the balance perfectly, which is evidenced by the fact that I'm sitting here in front of you.
Alright, Nicole, you're up next.
Hi guys. So reasons why I think I should win. From the beginning, I've kind of been like the underdog. When we first got on our teams, I didn't really know anybody. I didn't have like any automatic alliances, which is hard. And until the merge, I never really had any like close alliances. So I just kind of tagged along with other people and tried to play that way. And then for the past couple weeks, I've just been trying to make moves without obviously getting voted off, and so make moves without being too aggressive about it and being too overt. So that's kind of how I've been playing, and I think I've been playing pretty smart. So yeah, for that reason, I think I should win. Nathan, you look so evil right now.
I'm looking forward to asking questions.
Okay.
All right, we will now get into the jury asking questions. Jonathan, you're up first.
I want to know what specific plays brought you to be sitting right here in front of us.
A list or one play?
Yes.
For the whole game?
Yes. I want to know, why are you two sitting here? Because in all honesty, it could have been any of us. What set you apart in your playing styles that brought you here?
Right.
I think for me it was using specific help. I think specifically I had kind of 3 alliances going. There was the one I called JPEG. There's
Did you actually name them?
that was Jenna, Pascal, and Garrett was JPEG. There was me, Paul, and Garrett, and then there's, well, actually I can make it 4. And so basically I would say the play was being a member of all of those alliances and kind of throwing them against each other. And then also I think winning the final challenge, because if I hadn't won the last challenge, I think both the girls saw me as a threat and neither of them would have chosen me.
I think mine has a lot to do with my alliances also. Starting with Helen, and Nathan. I kind of tied on to their alliance, and then Jenna and Garrett, and then me and Sarah had a thing. So I've kind of gotten with people who have power, and then kind of worked my way up from there. Because like I said, I think I was an underdog for a really long time. So I kind of just situated myself in places where people of power semi-trusted me, and then just moved up from there.
So both of you are saying the reason you're here is because you made the right friends.
I think I made all the friends.
Alright. Yeah, I think because we made the right friends, and also because I knew at what point it was time to sever those friendships, and what time you can't take people any further. And even though they might be in your lines, you have to let them go.
Okay.
Alright, thank you, Jonathan. Jenna, you're up next.
Okay, so you guys both had relatively similar styles of playing. You were both really quiet about it. So what makes your games different between the two of you? And by different, also what makes it better than the other person who's sitting here?
Okay. Yeah, I think we definitely have both played quiet games. I think the main difference is how many big moves that we've initiated or been part of. And I think I've definitely been influential in get rid of some really key players like Helen and Jonathan and Garrett. Mainly those three. So, and I have definitely, I was definitely influential in those. So I would say I have been playing a quiet game, but I've definitely still been making lots of moves, even if those are just knowing when to lie low, when to speak up and try to get something to happen.
It's interesting because some of those we took credit for, I think, we took credit for specifically Jonathan. So the last week where there were 4 of us, Sarah came to me and said, look, let's vote out Nicole. And I told her, that doesn't make sense because I think Jonathan would beat you in a final 2 situation. So you should want to vote Jonathan out. So I told her, I'm not going to vote for Nicole. And so it's kind of thanks. And so then after that, she went to Nicole and said, let's vote out Pascal. And Nicole said, no, I'm also going to vote for Jonathan. So I think it's thanks to me that Jonathan went out and not you that week. And then also I think I was influential in you going out and Helen as well. Helen, I think, kind of knew too much. And so I think multiple different alliances kind of conspired at the same time to vote out. But I think in difference of play, I think I was a little bit more versatile. I think Jenna relied more on the same people.
We are
For the proof. He made all the friends. I think Nicole relied kind of on a consistent group of maybe 2-3 people to work her way to the top, whereas I was more able to use multiple people. I think that's kind of the biggest difference, which to me also interpreted Nicole and I were talking about how we're the people we've each talked to each other the least of anybody in the game. Kind of who's left. I mean, people on the original tribes who never made it to the merge. I'm not sure that counts for, but so I think we are both quieter, but I definitely feel like there have been multiple weeks where I've texted Nicole and not gotten a response. So I feel like I've been more outgoing, but I've also done it in smaller groups so that it remains secret to kind of the tribe as a whole. So I would say I feel like I've been less quiet than her, even if it doesn't appear that way. I've just done more.
Okay, so to sum up quickly, Nicole, you think you've played a more under the radar game, but have been more influential in some of the bigger moves in the game. Whereas Pascal, you think that you've moved around more, talked more, made more alliances, made more connections.
Yeah, I think it would be fair to say she's maybe been in a couple of big moves, and I've been in almost all of the moves, but just not on. Does that make sense? Like, she's been the big ones.
So Nicole said that she initiated some of those bigger moves.
I would say Garrett. I can't think of any other ones.
Have you initiated any big moves?
Yeah, so Jonathan, for one. I mean, if you count that as big, there were only 4 of us left.
Nicole also argued that she initiated Jonathan.
Right, but I think she was kind of unaware of the fact that Sarah had come to me first asking to vote out Nicole.
Okay.
Helen found out that like me, Garrett, and Paul were a thing, and so I know other people were also trying to vote you out at the same week. But I think that was kind of us and me, like being like, it's time for you to go, you know too much. You, I think, is probably one of the ones where I've been the most influential. As soon as you said Paul, I wanted to keep Paul in the game, and so as soon as I saw Paul, I said, look, Jenna has to go home this week. And also, I think I would say Brooke, as before the merge. Brooke wanted me out, so I had to vote her that week, and got our tribe to do that as well.
Now, given both of your different games, what makes each of your games more deserving of winning than the other person's?
So you want us to specifically talk about the other person or ourselves?
Well, why you're better, basically.
I'm not allowed to brag.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I think that I've, as previously stated, I think that I've helped like initiate more moves. Whereas Pascal, I think that you've been a part of a lot of things, but you haven't necessarily been in like the driving force. You've been more of like, you've definitely contributed by adding your vote, but I think I've helped more with like actually starting things and like being a part of that group and sort of thing. I'm not saying I like started everything because I didn't.
I think I would say maybe, I wouldn't use the term driving force, I would use the term like, initiating. Like, I think you maybe have, specifically, Garrett is the one that comes to mind again. Like, I think I've been more active more often. And I don't think there's been a week where I've been surprised you went home except the week Garrett went home. And then the week when I was not in the state.
Okay, fair.
Alright, thank you, Jenna. Sarah, you're up next.
Okay, so firstly, you both seem to be claiming that you kind of were the driving force behind Jonathan's cut. And I would just like to clear this up. He had the double vote. I knew about this beforehand. It was 2 votes for him and 2 votes for you. I was the swing vote. Neither of you were the driving force behind voting him out because I decided that last minute, okay? Good, so don't claim it. Secondly, what would you say were the weakest points of your game? Nicole.
Weakest points probably early on in the game. Like before the merge, because like I said, I didn't really know a whole lot of people. So I wasn't as active in reaching out to people because there were already a lot of like pre-established friendships and like, I don't want to say trust, but like people knew each other, so at least they had that common ground. And I wasn't the best at like reaching out to people and trying to establish those alliances because I knew that it wouldn't have been as strong as people who were already friends. So I definitely could have been more active then. Also, can I say something to your first comment?
Go for it.
I was pretty much convinced that you and Jonathan were working together. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know about that. I didn't know about his advantage, but I didn't know about that.
I mean, everyone should have figured it
Yeah,
out.
yeah. And it's interesting because like Pascal and I are competing against each other, but pretty much really early on we met and decided we were going to vote off Jonathan. So we both tried to convince you, and yes, you were like the deciding factor, but pretty much early on we both.
It's not true, we didn't meet until Thursday.
Yeah. But you have to understand, I didn't talk to people till Wednesday, so for me that's early on. Clarify.
Okay.
I had lots of things too. So Yeah. So even though you were the deciding factor, we were definitely both had that purpose in mind. So.
I think I would say we've played similar, and so Nicole says her biggest point is that kind of like the quiet aspect and like not having a lot of connections at the beginning. But I think for me, I was in the same position, and that's more of a strength. I was living by myself in Smith. Like the only people I knew at all basically were Garrett and Paul, and so but I think that made it stronger because it made it easier for me to blend in and work with more people who weren't like Keara, for example, got voted out super early just because everybody knew her and thought she'd be really good at the game, and so I didn't have that coming in. So I think for me, my weakness was that every time I blindsided somebody, people who were unaware it was happening would think I was just flip-flopping on the vote. And so people would think that I was untrustworthy or couldn't make up my mind, whereas really, I was just withholding information from them. So the weakness is the way that comes across when it looks like I have not been in the driving seat, whereas really I've just been hiding that fact the whole time.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Sarah. Nathan, you're up next.
Okay. So we planned this intentionally. She just asked you what your weakness is. I'm going to tell you you're both wrong. So I'm going to argue, and no, it's no doubt from the beginning. My game was I'm going to be the best at challenges. Plain and simple.
Yeah, we figured that one out.
Yeah. Which, going in reverse, I would argue that both of your weaknesses was challenges. Because you each won immunity when me and Paul, who I would say are the biggest challenge threats in this game, were out. You won yours with 5 people left in the game, and it was a puzzle. You technically won one when you dumb lucked into a 2 minutes out of 10 minute one. You won the final one that involved running around. But the majority of the challenge threats at that point of the game were gone. So I find it interesting that you each won one immunity super late in the game and don't view that as a weakness up to that point. So I was curious.
Is this a question? Do I get to answer?
Yes. Do you have anything to say about that?
I mean, I would disagree. I think that winning immunity is kind of relying on almost a chance aspect of the game. You don't know what the challenges are going to be, and the only way to really be sure is to know that people aren't going to vote for you even when you don't have immunity. And eventually, you can't count on immunity every time. So I think you have to be able to play the social game, and I think that's just more important than the challenges.
That's fair, but I would argue there's a Survivor logo. And under that Survivor logo, it says Survivor Messiah, or input every name for the actual show. But under that, it says outwit, outplay, outlast, which means those are the 3 important things in this game. Obviously, you've outlasted. You're the 2 sitting there. Outwitting is most of what we've been talking about up until this point. Outplay is a third of that, which I would then argue was not a third of either of your games.
I mean, yeah, I would agree. I'm pretty sure you all saw me running around. I've got really bad asthma, so pretty much any of the games that involve like endurance, pretty much knew I was gonna lose. The one that I won was like a puzzle. Besides that, yeah, I haven't won any, so I'm not gonna try to make it sound like I'm better than I am. I agree.
For sure. And
I'm not the best at
I would also say that does mean things because you're willing to open up and admit,
right. I'm not gonna lie, it's true. It's true.
I was gonna say I was also gone for a third of the challenges, and I think you're right. Like challenges are something I'm not the strongest at, but I don't think that maybe I'm weak at them, but I don't think it's the weakest part of my game because I don't think it's the most fun. So I just disagree with you.
I think I don't need asking this.
All right. Thanks, Nathan. Paul, you're up next.
Okay. Nicole.
Yes.
Who on the jury belongs to sit there more than you do?
Honestly, somebody said that, like, Jonathan, you said that anybody could be up here, and I absolutely agree with that. Like, a lot of this, and there is that outwit, outplay, outlast, but a lot of it is luck. When it comes to, like, okay, who's gonna trust me? You can do all that you can to convince them, but a lot of it comes down to luck. So I would be the first to admit that, like, it's a lot of luck that I'm here. So yeah, like, I think you, Jonathan, Nathan, as far as playing, you all deserve to be here more than I do. Like, challenges. Helen and Garrett, Jenna, Sarah, like, you guys, and like, it's for a lot of reasons, but, like, you guys mainly for, like, outwitting people, you guys for outplaying people. So, like, I think that any of you guys could win for different reasons, because you all have a lot of skills. So, I mean, it sounds generic, but I would say anybody, because it's a lot of luck that I'm here, and you guys all have different things that you're really good at. And a lot of it, who gets voted off is because they're bigger threats. So, clearly, if people who are bigger threats get voted off sooner, it means that we're not the biggest threats, which means that we're not necessarily the best. We're just the luckiest.
So if any of these people, if they were all up for winning Survivor, who would you vote for?
Can you guys?
Yes.
If I had to pick one person, I'd probably say Garrett, because I think that he is probably the strongest combination of physical game and also mental game.
Thank you. Pascal, same question. So who deserves to be up here more than us? I would say Garrett and Jenna, I think. I just thought it was kind of funny for one thing that you had like all the guys as the challenge winners and all the girls as the such like it was an easy split. But I just thought that was interesting. I think.
Okay.
No, what was I going to say? I think the reason I say Garrett and Jenna is because they both, I think, played some of the hardest games, and so I think they were initiators in a lot of big moves and organized alliances that basically hung around until it was the last possible minute to vote them out. So, on the other hand, I would say that their weakness is that playing hard is not always playing good. Sometimes you need to fade in the background. But those two. All right, thanks, Paul. Helen, you're up.
So based on the questions, I'm currently voting Nicole. Pascal, you can change my mind.
Am I allowed to ask any questions, or can I ask you why?
She had better answers.
Okay. I'm not sure I can change your mind. I don't know how different our games have been, but I think I honestly think I've played the better game. Again, when she mentioned being in the lines with you, I saw you laugh. I didn't know that was really a thing. And then I would have said the same thing, but I'm not sure how real that was either, because
it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Interview.
Right.
I know.
Only you out to speak. So I think my answer would just be that I think Nicole kind of consistently relied on Jenna and then on Sarah to make it to the top, whereas without just one or two people to rely on, I had to work more for myself. So.
Nicole, do you think you changed my mind?
No.
Thank you, Helen.
No problem.
All right, to finish this off, Garrett.
How are you guys feeling right now?
Not freezing.
Alright, so I think Nathan talked about this a little bit, about the three kind of like pillars of Survivor Messiah. Outwit, outplay, outlast. And when we look at all of those, I don't know which one you guys were actually good at. We're talking about outwitting and who you got out. Neither of you guys pushed Helen. Neither of you guys pushed Jen. Neither of you pushed Nathan. Neither of you pushed Paul. Neither of you pushed me. Neither of you pushed Jonathan. Pascal, I guess you get Sarah because you won the final shot. Congratulations. And as far as outplaying goes, I think Nathan already covered that. You guys were not very great at challenges. Outlasting, you guys are pretty much here because, to me, the biggest thing is, if you ever talk to JJ about Survivor, you can see it on his face when you talk to him that he loves Survivor. And you knew if he was going to play Survivor, he was going to play really hard. When I talk to you guys, I don't see that. When I talk to Jenna, I see that all the time. When I talk to Nathan, I see that. When I talk to Jonathan, I see that. When I talk to Sarah, I see that. You got out of it. I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't understand why either of you guys deserve to win. As far as outlasting, you guys did outlast most of us because
They outlasted all of us.
You guys outlasted all of us, but you did that because you weren't playing hard and you didn't have a love for the game. And when you guys were talking and giving your answers, I still didn't see a love for the game. So basically, I'm going to give you guys a little bit to talk right now. Whoever wants to go first can go first. Why did you love the game? And show me your love for the game.
I mean, okay, here's what I'll tell you. I've watched 3 episodes of Survivor in my life. I can't say that I do love the game. Like, I'm not a super fan like a lot of you are. I don't think I love the game more. I think I'm better at the game. And I think that's why I should win. Loving the game and playing hard is what gets you out. When the last tribal council, not the one with the 3 of us, the jury members were sitting behind us and laughing, and somebody said, man, they all care more about winning, and somebody else, and Helen said, yeah, that's why we're out, and they're not. And I think, and JJ said, I think it was JJ, it's not that they don't care, it's that they can't show it yet. And yeah, so, I mean, I can't say that I'm a fan of Survivor, that I've watched every episode, or that.
I'm not asking if you're a fan of Survivor. I'm asking, did you love playing the game? Because even in this answer you're giving me right now, I don't see the love of playing the game at all.
I mean, I had a lot of fun, and I think, like, as a politics major, like, it's really fun to, like, wheel and deal and make, and, like, have secret meetings and, like, backstab. Not that that's what I'm planning to do as a politician. But no, I loved playing. I just think I have to give you mine.
Alright.
I've also not, like, watched a ton of Survivor, and I know that's not what you're looking for, but just give me. So I knew, and I have watched it, but I haven't watched a ton, as much as probably anyone here. So I knew that, like, as far as outwitting people, I wasn't going to be able to be as good as everybody else. I knew for obvious reasons I wasn't going to be able to be good at challenges, which is why I've been trying to lay low more. And yeah, I've really enjoyed, like, meeting up with people and trying to figure things out and trying to figure out, like, okay, who's doing this and that, and there's a lot of elements to figure out at the same time. So I have really enjoyed just trying to, try to strategize while also not hurting people too much. I have been enjoying it. I really wish we could play this, like, during the summer, where you can just, like, put everything into the game, because I feel like it is a game that deserves to be, like, it's a game that deserves to be on an island where you can just focus everything on it. But in a world where you have to actually go to college, it definitely makes it more challenging to put everything into the game because there's so many other things competing for your attention. Yes, there was a lot of enjoyment in it, and trying to survive this long.
Alright, thanks guys.
Alright, thank you, Garrett. We're going to have final speeches before we allow the jury to vote. So this time we'll start with Nicole.
Okay. I just want to use my final speech to thank all of you guys. It's been really fun playing with you. And I just want you to know that, like, regardless of anything that's happened, like, I still really want to be friends with you guys. And you're all really great people. Even you, Jonathan. I'm not going to that story. But, yeah, so, like, thanks for playing. And, yeah, so please don't let this affect anything else. But, yeah, you're all awesome.
Pascal?
First, I just wanted to say, Helen, with that kind of question, you're worse than JJ. That's just not fair. I think there's 3 things that are important, and I wouldn't say it's in a final jury situation with the final 2. And I'm not talking about outwitting, outlasting, outplaying. I'm talking about 1, who's played the better game, so I guess you could say outwit. But 2, who's maintained good relationships with the members of the jury. And then 3, when you're, like, watching Real Survivor, right? You can say like, oh, who deserves the $1 million? So like that's not really a thing here. But I think in the first instance, I've been in contact with more people, I've pulled more strings, and I've just been more active and more of an influence in the game than Nicole has. In the second part, I think obviously I've backstabbed most of you, but I've done it each time in a way where I remember lying to Jenna after she had been voted out, and I was saying, why am I doing this? And I realized it's because I didn't want anybody to be angry at me when I voted them out, and I think I successfully did that from the beginning of the game. Nobody was ever angry at me after being voted out. And then the third thing, again, I can't argue I deserve best there.
I'm slightly salty that you voted me out.
You were the one.
Throw it out there.
Yes, Jonathan.
Same.
That was Sarah, apparently. But the third thing, like, you can't argue I deserve $1 million, but it is my birthday, and I think it's my birthday, and I think it'd be really awesome if I could win Survivor on my birthday. It is your fault.
I'm sorry. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Freezing. Back up. All right. Thank you, final two.
I think that's an unfair advantage.
All right, jury, it's time to cast your vote, and you are not voting someone out. This time you are voting for a winner. So you're writing down the name of the person you want to win this season of Survivor. Helen, you're up first.
Or did you actually convince you that we were both voting for each other?
Wait, I don't know.
No, it's like I knew perfectly well both of you were voting for me.
I mean, I basically told you. And I knew it was going to be right on it. We were debating whether or not to vote for you or you. And it kept going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So that's why we talked about, like, I knew you were going to vote for me, and I knew that you were on the fence. That was what I decided, that you were not going to take my final two.
You got to vote.
I respect this has like other things, but I'm also on the jury and so got voted out and get killed by Garrett.
And I'm bitter.
So
Yeah.
you're gonna be killed for what? Doing work instead of Survivor.
What?
I'm not sure who played the game better. Pascal, I think you played it harder, and I think you won it more. So here you go.
Garrett, you go for
Jonathan was really bad at the game.
Agreed.
And yet he still beat all the time. Oh yes.
I think this is the third time I'm voting for you. You played a smarter game than Pascal.
You haven't done anything all game. It's so frustrating to sit there and hear you talk about how like, oh, I played a chill and had so many alliances, yada yada. You literally did not know what was going on like most of the weeks. Yes, I'm slightly salty.
All right, for the last time this season, I will go tally the votes.
Man, you in the final two? Yeah, you would have like got it after that.
I made a pass top four. All right, before we read the votes, as the jury was voting, we had the audience as well as myself and the crew vote for player of the season.
Oh no!
We'll now announce the top 2 vote getters for player of the season. With 5 votes for player of the season, in second place, Jonathan.
Nice.
In first place, with 6 votes for player of the season, Garrett.
Yep.
I broke the tie.
Arguably, we did not know who was in the tie.
Also true. Alright.
Worth it.
The votes in here are votes for a winner. You need to see your name 4 times to win this game. I will now read the votes. First vote, Nicole. 1 vote, Nicole. Pascal. 1 vote, Pascal. 1 vote, Nicole. Pascal, or Mr. Sprong. 2 votes, Pascal. 1 vote, Nicole. Nicole. 2 votes, Nicole. 2 votes, Pascal. Nicole. 3 votes, Nicole. 2 votes, Pascal. The winner of Survivor Messiah, Nicole. Nicole, the pseudo prize, you received the voting jar, which I'll take back after the campaign. Congratulations, Nicole, for winning the first season of Survivor Messiah.
Thank you.
And thank you to the final 2 and the jury and everyone who's not here. Thank you to everyone who played, everyone who helped film, everyone, TJ, our torch holder, of the official lighter of the torch, everyone who came out to watch, everyone who's here that's playing next semester, for making a dream of mine come true and getting to do Survivor.
Thank you, JJ.
So grab your stuff, head back to camp. Good night.